Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binaries. Welcome to the Chamber of the Wraith. My name is Barbara, and today, it's about damn time I made a new game series, huh? It's been like 6 months, give or take, since the last one, and here we are, in DC Legends. By the way, this is the sign in every day to get a thing tower. Woo! And your 7-day streaks to boot. And the reason why I'm here is because I wanted to talk to you guys about this game specifically. And more crucially, I have the series planned for it, in which I get to take a look at all these lovely characters and talk about what makes them so freaking terrifying in this game. Because the motto of DC Legends is, are you in the game? Then you are busted. So, we'll be taking a look at those characters individually as episodic episodes. Episodic episodes? Is that a thing? I don't know. Anyways, we'll be doing these every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So 3 characters a week to take a look at and elaborate upon how they work in this game. But to know how they work in a game, you kind of have to know how the game works. So we'll do a quick run through of the game in case you're interested to play. Some of these features may be locked to you as a new player. It has been a while since I don't know exactly which ones and when, but I know some of them kind of get unlocked as you level up through the game. The first thing we're going to talk about is the thing you're going to be definitely doing a lot of, the campaign mode. Here is where you would go through the campaign, work through the story, which is not award-winning stuff, but, it's serviceable for what it is. And you'll go in, and you'll pick a fight. Make a team of characters, go nuts. You can have up to 6 teams of various flavors, depending on what you desire. And if you manage the 3-star, you can use a speed-up, allowing you to, speed up the challenge, and instantly get stuff out of it. Now, if you manage to beat, you don't have to 3-star, but if you manage to beat all of the challenges in a chapter on normal, you get heroic. And these are harder. So, as a comparison, let's pick a middle-of-the-road thing. The end of Chapter 4, your first fight with Necron. The enemy power is a total of 6,600, and these are coming along in waves. When we have them on heroic, it's now 8,000. So, it can get pretty scary on heroic sometimes, but this is something you'll work at your own pace, and once you 3-star a challenge, again, you can speed it up. However, these challenges have an unfortunate side effect in that you can only play them automatically or manually 3 times a day. You meet that limit, you have to spend your premium currency, these essence gems, in order to do it. Now, in order to refresh the challenges. Don't do this for a start. And secondly, because there's an in-game shop, I do need to warn anyone who has shopping addiction issues, just trouble holding on to their money. Depending on the level of difficulty you have in the game, you might want to skip this game. Just for your own safety, I don't want to promote bad spending habits, dangerous spending habits even. But I really wanted to talk about this game because I was having a lot of fun, and, it's something I like to do. Do not buy. I literally just said that. Jesus. But the shop, you can get various things from there. So, next up, let's talk about the Hero Challenge. This, I believe, you're locked out until you reach a certain level. Every month, you get to see upcoming challenges that come through. At the end of the month, it'll be a lot longer than just these 2, I promise. And you'll be able to see who will be available to unlock. In this case, Superwoman, Earth 3 Lois Lane. So you'll go in here, and it'll just be like a normal thing. You fight you fight the Manhunters and the character in question, you level up, you do stuff. They have pretty high energy costs, though, I will warn you. It starts out at 5, and it goes up to 50. There's usually also a legendary version, which bumps them all the way up to legendary. Do not start with this, please. It will kick your ass. I still have trouble with it at times. Next up, this green glowy thing. This is the fastest thing to explain. The Collector. It gives you green essence that you can use in order to in order to rank up heroes, upgrade their moves with lantern rings and essence, and even use them in upgrade events, which costs you essence to even enroll. Completing certain things, like collecting from the Collector, gives you these daily missions, which you can complete for various resources, and there are 2 tiers, the normal and the heroic. When you get to the heroic ones, they are quite difficult. I can't even do them all. I wouldn't recommend trying to do them all, but do what you can and you'll generally get rewards. Usually they're pretty reasonable at this point. Just start a couple battles. You don't even have to win them. You just have to start them. Collect a few hero fragments here or there, that kind of thing. These campaign missions, you'll every time you complete a chapter, whether on heroic or normal difficulty, regardless of star ranking, you'll get Superman shards. And this is the only reliable way to get Superman shards, and you get a limited amount. So bear that in mind. Next, we have red alerts. This is what I like to try and get done. This is a survival mode gauntlet thing, where after every fight, your character's health carries over. And as you can see, there are various different types of AI teams to work with. Usually it's the standard ones, but once in a while you get teams like this, which I believe are either developer teams or inspired by the community to show off newly buffed characters and the like. So I usually try and stay away from those teams because sometimes those teams get really, really dumb. But generally speaking, just work them through. They're only purple like this because it matches your highest possible team composition's level. So, for instance, if I were to start this fight, which I'm not going to, and let's say I were to... Actually, let's do a different one that doesn't have this box. Let's do this one. And let's say I were to just go with my strongest characters. The team power is a little bit behind, but it is at that point where it is going to pretty soon go to the next level and loop back around. So, and yes, you only get to pick one team. And if a character dies in the red alert, you can't use them again. But your health will carry over. This is both good and bad. If you have strong healers or strong shielders, you get to carry your shields and extra health over into the next challenge, which is generally the best way to handle this sort of thing. To have a really strong healer and just go to town. The rewards proceed as follows. You get 2 essence rewards, then a gem award, then a character award. And as you climb, these get higher and can change. So, while usually you will get 3 different characters, generally rare ones like Red Tornado, Doomsday, Suicide Squad, Deadshot, sometimes you will get duplicate characters. And very rarely, you'll get all three character challenges being the same character, which can give you a grand total of 42 shards for that character. Nothing to sneeze at. Even 5 shards for some of these characters is nothing to sneeze at. Speaking of which, I'm not going to talk about it in the hero section, so we'll very quickly talk about how heroes operate. They operate on a star level hybrid system. So if we go to one of my weakest characters, which is 1 star... Where did they go? Captain Boomerang. All right? Captain Boomerang, I just got him recently, so I really haven't done anything to him. As you can see, he's a little bit squishy. The whole shtick... YouTube notifications, I'm going to have to get rid of those somehow. When you unlock Captain Boomerang, he starts out at 1 star. And as you climb up the shard counts, you will get the ability to rank them up. It'll cost more shards as you go, and eventually you can make them legendary. Like for instance, Ares, who's my weakest legendary character, and as you can see, gets a crazy appearance change. But not all characters unlock equally. You'll notice that these characters that I do not have unlocked have different shard counts. Does this mean that some characters are better? Yes and no. What it really means is what star you unlock a character at. For instance, let's say you are a speedster fan and want Jessie Quick. You only need 10 shards to unlock her, but she unlocks at 1 star, giving you 2 skills to work with, and that's it. Then, let's say you are a big fan of Wonder Woman villains, and you want Giganta over here. Giganta will cost you 25 shards. I think that's Giganta. Yes, it is. And she'll cost you 25 shards to unlock, but it will automatically get you to 2 stars, which gives you 3 skills to work with. 3-star unlock characters like Jon Stewart over here will get you to 3 stars. It doesn't unlock a new skill, but it does still give you a stat boost. This is kind of an in-between sort of thing. And lastly, we have to talk about the rarest and the biggest of the baddest, the 90 shard unlocks. These will get a character unlocked at 4 stars right away, and these characters are generally considered pretty strong because once you unlock them, they already have a lot of their skills ready to go. Once you get there isn't a character that you can unlock that gets you right away to 5 stars, but I'll talk a little bit more about how those characters operate when we actually get to talking about said characters. You'll also notice these little icons here. The red fist, the green atom thing, and the blue mystic eye. What the hell do those mean? Those are affinities, or your character's type. Let's take a quick peek at some examples to get you warmed up and acquainted. Here we go. We'll use this team, which is basically my strongest team. Black Canary is a martial artist, so she has a red physical affinity. She is strong against blue mystical affinity characters like Ra's al Ghul and Zatanna, but is weak against green energy characters like Firestorm or Superman. Supergirl is green, so she is strong against red characters and is weak to blue. Now, when I say weak, I mean Supergirl will take more damage and deal less damage to mystical characters. And this goes along the chain here. It's one of the first things they teach you, but it's important to remember. Generally speaking, if you're starting out, or even at my point, a really good thing to try and do is to find a synergistic team that has a diverse arrangement of types so that you are not caught off guard by anybody using a type that you may not be prepared for. Some synergies, however, like say this team here, which is all red, sometimes the synergy is worth it to put it to go past the affinities, but usually it isn't. Unless you find solid affinity teams, I would not worry too much about. Unless you find solid teams that don't worry about affinity, I would worry about affinity a little bit. Next, let's talk about another quick one, the Void Scanner. We've got free scans, and you usually get 1 free scan every day, denoted when you'll get a free one up here. You'll also get another free scan if you watch an advertisement, but just for the sake of this, I'm going to show one roll. And we got some XP meta agents, which you can use to level up your character. That reminds me, I will be talking about character levels and all that specifically in the first character episode, just to kind of get you familiar with the system. But suffice it to say, that was a fairly good pull. Lots of these are things you will be needing in the long term. Don't be stressed out that you're not getting these character shards or these gems. These gems are actually relatively common. But if you get an essence or an energy, that's really good stuff. Because energy will overflow, so if you have beyond 100% energy, that's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it's pretty much a good thing. I believe I talked about upgrade events already, but just in case. Oh, good. So upgrade events, you'll go here to get upgrade materials. Legendary essence, XP agents, gear items, that sort of thing. And lantern rings. Generally, the affinity-based challenges you should be able to get right away. Legendary essence requires you to be level 25, but honestly, you don't really have to worry about Legendary Essence until that point anyway, so don't fret about seeing Lord of the Unliving and going, oh no, I can't participate. That's what the hero challenge is for, and we'll talk about that later. Make sure you try and get to level 20 fairly quick, though, because that's where you get the Essential and Fearsome powers, and bada bing, bada boom. Those are really good for leveling up characters, because that's what you use to upgrade their moves. Speaking of hero challenge, we already talked about this. If we fought that, that would give us some stuff in the missions. And speaking of missions, Alliance missions. These right here are a big deal because if you get into an alliance, which I highly recommend you try to do, you can get this blue currency that allows you in the alliance shop to get characters. I even see one that I want here. Boom. So I got some Walker shards out of the deal. But if you'd like to save up, you can have a crack at these Alliance shards, which can net some pretty solid characters. Like, I see Saint Walker, Beast Boy, Starfire, and these will cycle through, I believe it's every 2 weeks, I'm not 100% sure. Same with the arena packs, which you get PvP points for in order to get different characters. That's how I got Captain Boomerang, but you can see Tatsu, aka Katana, you see a version of Lex Luthor, various options like that. So getting into the PvP arena and getting your hands dirty with alliances is a good way to get various resources. And speaking of the PvP arena is where you'll go to challenge other player teams. Now, you don't challenge the players themselves, but you challenge an AI controlling the player teams. That doesn't make him any less scary, though, because some of these teams can boast some of the most broken characters on the face of the earth. So, it will usually try to match you with something that it thinks you can beat, filling it out with AI teams in case there aren't enough, but sometimes you get hilarious mismatches. Like, I'm not getting any right now, but there was one time where I faced off against a team that only had 3,000 power, with my strongest team being 5 times stronger than that. So you might get lucky, or you might run into some serious problems. The matchmaking in this game is bonkers. Fortunately, you only need to try for 2, and you should be okay. Collecting those hero fragments also got me a challenge. Let's go. And also, generally, there's a lot... Also, in the settings, this is where you would go to tweak privacy settings, look into your FAQs, link your profile, change your sound settings, and the like. The final thing that I really that I need to talk about, raid bosses. Don't worry about them until level 30, but they're big bosses that everybody takes on, and you'll be able to use modifiers to defeat them, to climb up the leaderboard, to get big rewards. Like, we're talking hundreds of character shards or thousands of premium currency. And with that... yes, the DC Advent Calendar for the holidays. Good stuff to know. But that's neither here nor there. That's basically all you need to know about DC Legends, at least from a gameplay perspective. If you want to see how gameplay itself, when it comes to battles, operates, stay tuned on Wednesday when we show off our first character and show off what she can do. That first character, by the way, is going to be the last daughter of Krypton, Supergirl. Don't forget to be awesome, my friends, and we'll see you guys on the other side.